6 cities represented by 6 franchises, 6 new combinations of faces every week, and this is the 6th quiz in the ProQuizzin League Battle of the Youth. Hello everyone, I am Dhruv Mukherjee, and as always I'm joined by my friend Shamonai Banerjee, and we are bringing you the film and television quiz. Shamonai, a word about what this game entails.
Absolutely, and film and television must have been your favorite, Dhruv, huh?
Oh yes, I've been looking forward to this one. Film more than television, to be honest.
Of course, lots of quizzing left. Of course, we are just halfway through. This is the 6th quiz of the ProQuizzin League Battle of the Youth. There are rest 6 quizzes left. Anything can happen in the league. It has been a very, very exciting one till now. Lots of ups and downs and remarkable comebacks, excellent answers, brilliant workouts and whatnot. Without further ado, let's dive straight into the proceedings of the quiz, and we will start with the scorecard as of now. As it stands, Dhruv, please to the honors.
All right, so last week, of course, we got to see a tremendous performance whereby the Mumbai Geeks really showed up in a big way, scoring over 1,000 points. They were unfortunately unable to dislodge the top 3, but they've come very, very close. The Bengaluru Aces still very much in the lead right now. At this point, the halfway stage of the tournament, well, actually, technically, the halfway stage will be reached after today, so that remains to be seen. 24 points for the Aces, the Wizards on 20, the Intellects on 18, the Geeks on 17, the Erudites on 16, and the Brainiacs on 13. So there's going to be a lot of close competition over there. Remember, the top of the table can hold strong for a week or two, but it just takes 2 good weeks for a team to overturn another team. What's going to happen today? Let's find out as we meet our 6 contestants for the film and TV quiz in the ProQuizzin League Battle of the Youth. Representing the Mumbai Geeks, the home team today, Yash Gupta, Snehal Mishra representing the Delhi Brainiacs, the Chennai Erudites represented by Aronno Mitro, Sonal Sharma representing the Ahmedabad Intellects, Piyush Kedia returns to represent the Bengaluru Aces, and the Kolkata Wizards will be fronted today by Ognidev Banerjee. So, some familiar faces there, some new faces. It's going to be exciting. Let's not waste any time. Let's go straight into the first round. Shamonai, a brief overview of the round rules.
Yeah, the first round, as usual, is a knives out. Each team gets 1 direct question, 3 clues per question. If the teams get it right in the first clue, they get a plus 150. If they get it right on the second, they get a plus 100. And if they get to see all the 3 clues, they get a chance to win plus 50 in this particular round. This round doesn't pass, but you have an opportunity of using the 2x cards. The double cards, as you have seen, has been some sort of game changers. At least, even if not it's a game changer, it has been score changer to a certain extent. Teams have judiciously used them. Some teams are keeping them. Some teams have used them. So Dhruv, I think we are good to go for the first ever question. Let's take a look at the direction in which this quiz is supposed to go.
All right, the home team, that's the Mumbai Geeks, today have chosen to start at seat 1, which is going in clockwise order, followed by the Brainiacs, the Erudites, the Intellects, and the Aces, and then the Wizards. First question to the home team Mumbai Geeks, on screen now. 8 of the films I've acted in have been sent as official submissions to the Academy Awards, the most by an Indian actor. Wow. Moment of pride already in the very first clue.
Yes, and film and TV quiz, very appropriately directed to Mumbai Geeks. We shall wait for his answer.
Can I have a clue, please?
He asks for a clue. My film debut happened opposite Arundhati Roy and television debut in Shyam Benegal's Yatra. So perfect blend of film and TV right up front.
Can I have another clue, please?
Yash wants a third clue. So for 50 points, I've played Adolf Hitler on the big screen and Mullah Nasiruddin and Chacha Chaudhary on TV. Obviously a tremendous acting talent. Mumbai is filled with them. Which one is he going to go with, Shamonai?
Yeah, Mumbai thinking hard for 50 points.
Okay, then I guess I'll...
He passes, and the answer is, of course, Raghubir Yadav, an acting powerhouse through the 80s and the 90s, still going strong. To be honest, a bit before the times for the youngsters of today, but of course, he is an excellent actor and a very famous name. And if they didn't know about him, well, the good thing about quizzing is now they do, and they can read more about him and watch his movies and shows. No worries. No points to the geeks, doesn't matter. The Brainiacs now Snehil Mishra. Second question of the first round on screen now. I was initially named Kibble as a reminder of the old advertising adage that it doesn't matter how good your dog food advertising campaign is if the dogs won't eat the dog food. So an immediate switch, perhaps, Shamunai?
Big Lebowski?
Oh, okay, he's gone for a guess. The Big Lebowski, he says.
The Big Lebowski.
He says the Big Lebowski, which is wrong. For 100 points, in 2011, I attempted to separate by delivery by mail service by renaming the former Quickster.
So obviously a business entity, as you can see. For 100 points, to hear Snehil's guess.
Netflix.
He says Netflix, and he's absolutely right. 100 points to the Delhi Brainiacs. They're up and running. This is, of course, Netflix, right at the heart of this quiz, one of the biggest names. And the third clue, of course, I broke HBO's 17-year-old streak in 2018 as the most nominated network at the Emmy Awards. Didn't need that clue. Okay, Arun Mitra from the Chennai Erudites. Direct question coming up now. A self-proclaimed god, speaking constantly from beyond the grave, I was taught fear by a priest named Eknath. There's a little hint there as well. It says from Netflix to ...
Next clue.
He wants a second clue. I am an alliteratively named individual who killed one Salim Kaka, who taught me daring. Some of the teams are smiling, Shamunai. They know.
Ganesh Gatunde. Ganesh Gatunde. Hello?
Slight technical issue.
Audible. Ganesh Gatunde.
The Erudites say Ganesh Gaitonde, and of course it is indeed Nawazuddin Siddiqui from Sacred Games. One of your favorite shows, I'm guessing, Shamunai?
Indeed, I'm sure it is yours too.
A philosopher gangster, I was taught love, but eventually backstabbed by my spiritual teacher. Tremendous, tremendous show spanning 2 seasons, and who knows, maybe more. Okay, Sonal Sharma from the Ahmedabad Intellects. Your direct question, question 4, coming up on screen now. My character has been inspired by 1001 Nights stories and films like Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Adventures of Robin Hood. So we're talking about a fictional character here, Shamunai, not a real actor.
Yes, just like the previous question.
Can I have the next clue?
He wants a second clue. For 100 points, despite being a titular protagonist, I didn't have a name until a 2010 big screen adaptation where I was named Dastan.
This is Prince of Persia.
Confidently, she says Prince of Persia. And that's absolutely right, Prince of Persia. So a little bit of the gaming world enters the film and TV quiz. And why not, Shamunai? Why not?
Yeah, with significant connection. The third clue was brainchild of an American programmer. I have been famously played by Jake Gyllenhaal. Okay, this is a good answer from Sonal. We move to Piyush from the Bengaluru Oasis for his direct. Let's take a look at his question too.
Piyush's first clue. As a young performer, I played the role of a page boy in Sherlock Holmes and was called to London to play the role alongside William Gillette, the original Holmes. This is a bit of an old chestnut, at least in the world of movie quizzing. Let's see if it's old enough, or rather new enough, for Piyush to latch on.
Patrick Stewart.
He says Patrick Stewart. That's incorrect.
Patrick Stewart.
For 100 points, his second clue. Keystone Comedy Film Company was on the brink of letting me go when a telegram arrived from the firm's New York office asking the studio to hurry up with more pictures as there was a terrific demand for them.
Piyush thinking hard for 100 points.
Charlie Chaplin.
Casually says Charlie Chaplin, throwing his hands up, and he's absolutely right. When you're that good a quizzer, even your most throwaway guesses will fetch you points. And as you can see, I was born in London, spent 40 years in the US, and spent my last years in Switzerland. So interesting trivia all around, Sean.
Yeah, perfect. The life and times of Charlie Chaplin. What a checkered and brilliant life that is. And Piyush, for a lack of a better case, as if he says Charlie Chaplin, and he backs 100 points for his team. The last and final question of this round goes to the Kolkata Wizards. Dhruv, let's take a look at Ognidev's first clue.
Having met directors like G.W. Pabst and Fritz Lang, I joined the UFA studios in Berlin, where I assisted Marlene Dietrich on the set of Der Blaue Engel. No team has got 150 points so far. Can the Wizards do that?
Next clue, please.
He's gone for a second clue. After retiring from films, I moved to the outskirts of Bangalore, thereafter leading a very reclusive life for the next 5 decades.
Is it Devika Rani?
He says Devika Rani, and it is indeed the legendary performer Devika Rani. That's a very good guess. Great to see youngsters having an all-round knowledge about performers who performed nearly 100 years ago. Great performance there, Shaman.
Yeah, the third clue was in 1969. I was awarded the inaugural Dada Shai Phalke Award. Okay, so Devika Rani, an absolute legend. And with that, we come to the end of the first round. Dhruv, tell us about the scores.
All right, so the home team, the Mumbai Geeks, are on 0 and nothing to choose between the other 5. All 5 on 100. Everything to play for. Let's not waste any time. Let's get into the very second round, Shamanai. A brief recap of the rules, please.
The second round is, of course, lock and load. 6 questions clockwise, direct for each team. There's a differential passing, which means the quiz can entirely change. The scoring patterns can completely look different. So for a direct question, one can get 100 points per pass. There is an additional 50 points into the number of passes. So potentially, the last team to get this, which is the 6th team, will probably stand to choose 350 points, for a single question. So without further ado, let's take a look at the first question, which will move clockwise, and it will be direct to the home team, Mumbai Geeks.
All right, for 100 points, the Mumbai Geeks, Yash Gupta, chance to get off the mark. Women in this Asian nation are supposed to call their dates comrade. Instead, many have started calling them oppa or honey. So what exactly is the source of such a term that might remind Indians of a different producer closer home? Lots of clues in that. Should be able to crack this.
Yash trying to put together an answer. Direct for him, but it passes. So not only he has to stop the question from passing, but also he has to score something, which is he has to open his account. Give you a prompt now.
I'll pass.
Lot of time spent, but to no avail. He passes. 150 points. It's with the Delhi Brainiacs.
Anve Sivam.
Anve Sivam, he says, for 200 points now with the erudites.
I have a guess. Actually, I guess the nation is Vietnam for that comrade thing, and the person is Rajinikanth.
He's gone for Rajinikanth in Vietnam. Left field guess. Incorrect. Sonal Sharma, intellects.
The nation is North Korea. They're supposed to call comrades, but because of South Korean influences, they call the dates oppa and honey.
A little more than that, perhaps.
Not really sure. Some Korean drama, because they use that term.
And she nails it. It's as simple as K-dramas. Very good answer there by Sonal Sharma. She was very confident and very reasoned in her explanation. She just needed to put the last piece of the puzzle, and she did that with style. So 250 points, I believe, that the intellects have got, and now they're on 350. Second question now direct for the Delhi Brainiacs. Born to Willicia Goins and Philip Gilmore, he entered St. Mary's College of California with a basketball scholarship and went by the name Herschel Gilmore when playing for the SMC Giles, but became disenchanted with the idea of a sports career because of the treatment given to the team's athletes. So which Oscar awardee are we talking about?
Denzel Washington.
Denzel Washington, he says. That's incorrect. Passes to, I don't know, one of the tougher questions, I suppose, Shamanai.
Yeah, well, the auction begins. We have to take a look at who answers this.
No guess.
No guess for him. Sonal Sharma, 150 points. Well, 200 points.
Is this Michael Jackson?
Not Michael Jackson, 250 points with Piyush Kedia.
Let's say Sydney Poitier.
Not Sidney Poitier, 300 points now with the Wizards.
Is it Mahershala Ali?
He says Mahershala Ali, and he's absolutely right. What a fantastic guess. And there was a bit of a hint in the framing of the question, wasn't there, Shamanai?
Yes, Harshal Gilmore. From Harshal, we get Maheshala, and Ognidev put 2 + 2 correct and gets absolutely 300 points. My goodness.
He kept his head down, kept his focus, and just came up with the answer beautifully over there. And he's earned 400 points, puts them in the lead. All right. Question 3 now for Aronno Mitro. What, constructed in violation of the Geneva Convention guidelines, briefly stood on the banks of the Kelani near the small town of Kitulgala before exploding to smithereens on screen? So this is a what, not a who.
I mean, a certain type of construction. That's a clue, and it explodes to smithereens.
No guess. I pass.
The erudite's not venturing a guess. So 150 points with Sonal.
Some wall.
A wall, 200 points with the Aces.
Bridge on the River Kwai.
There was no way Piyush Kedia was going to miss this answer. The bridge on the River Kwai. Someone, I believe this is one of your favorite war films, if I'm not wrong, right?
Absolutely. Whose it isn't? It's a beautifully made film. Well done. So we take a look at Ahmedabad Intellect's direct, I assume.
Which peace-loving heroine, the star of Dreamy Girl, was once saved from a fire during the shooting of a film called Ma Bharti by a junior artist at RC Studios? Looks like a straightforward question, but is it?
So now thinking hard, trying to put 2 + 2 here.
This is Shanti Priya from the movie Om Shanti Om.
Again, it's answers like these that make you really happy, where someone can realize that the question is talking about something fictional. Shanti Priya, of course, played by Deepika Padukone in the movie Om Shanti Om. Well-deserved 100 points there. The Aces now with their direct. This sitcom was conceptualized as a story about a riches to rags family in light of the then recent corporate scandals such as Enron and Adelphia, which two-word term that Hemingway used to describe a moron who had been misjudged in The Sun Also Rises, does the show share its title with? A lot of facts to put together.
Also, timeline clue, perhaps. Piyush is a seasoned quizzer. You should know these things.
Okay, I'll say Motley Fool.
Motley Fool, he says. It's incorrect. Passes to Ognidev and the Wizards.
Is it Schitt's Creek?
Not Schitt's Creek. Passes now to the Geeks.
Is it Two Broke Girls?
Not Two Broke Girls. They miss a chance to get 200 points and open their account. The Brainiacs.
Billionaires.
No, not the right answer. The erudites. The erudites appear to be frozen on screen. And these glitches keep happening.
Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
He's gone off screen. Not the ideal circumstances while the question is still live, but
Pass.
when it moves to Sonal and she passes, Piyush, this was his direct. Let's take a look at the answer. It's passed all through. All right, this is of course a very, very popular show in the last 20 years. Let's take a look at the answer. Arrested Development. Also the name of an amazing, amazing American music band in the 90s, something that I used to listen to a lot when I was growing up. But good question there, lots to work out, but again, not a sitter. All right. Question 6, the last of the round for the Kolkata Wizards direct on screen now. Which Khandwa-born genius once tried to dig a canal all around his bungalow in his hometown so that he could sail gondolas there, which in a rather anticlimactic way came to a halt when someone found a skeletal hand and some toes? So a question straight from Bizarreville, Shobana.
Indeed. I mean, quite a green turn of events in the question itself. Talks about a Khandwa-born genius. Ognidev's direct. This is something he should get it.
Passes, move.
Is it Vijay Dinanath Chauhan from the movie Agnipath?
Mumbai goes for Amitabh Bachchan. No. The Brainiacs.
Pass.
Passing moves to the erudites. Lots of points.
Passing.
They pass as well. Sonal and the intellects.
Pass.
For 350 points with the aces.
I'll go with Bajaj from.
It goes for a fictional. You just needed one word in the entire question to guess. One word. And unfortunately, they weren't able to capitalize. This is Kishore Kumar, and they just needed to use Khandwa to launch their guesses. Shamunai, you have to say this is a bit of a bad miss.
Yeah, for quizzes like this, I think yes. I mean, this is from a fantastic interview of Kishore Kumar with British Nondi. Well, we come to the end of 2 rounds. We take a look at the scores. Group, please do the honors as usual.
Okay, at the end of 2 rounds, we've got the Geeks, the home team, yet to open the account. They're on 0. You've got the Brainiacs on 100, as indeed are the erudites. Leading the quiz currently are the intellects with 450 points. Right behind them with 400, the Wizards, and the Aces with 300. We've seen some very good, steady answering and a bit of a slow start for some teams, but we're only halfway through the quiz. It's time to take a break, or as we call it over here, a strategic timeout. Time for teams to strategize. What will the Mumbai Geeks choose as the seating order when we come back? Remember, of course, they've got the privilege as the home team. Will they be able to be perhaps a little more daring? Will we see some more guesses from the erudites? All will be revealed in just 2 minutes. See you soon. All right, we're back. And it's time for the third round. One of the more anticipated rounds, of course, of the quiz, because there's a bit of a nice twist to the round. Shamanai, let's do the honors and tell the people what it's all about.
Round 3 is as usual, don't shoot the messenger. Messenger, of course, being our celebrity quiz master for the day. There are 6 two-tier questions, 1 direct for each team. If you get it right on the first direct, that is without any further clues, they get a plus 200, but teams can always ask for a second clue, for which they get a plus 100 if they're right, and for a pass, there's a flat 100 points. The 2x cards makes its return. Some of the teams who can judiciously use their 2x cards perhaps in this particular round. Dhruv, let's meet our celebrity quiz master for the evening.
All right, our celebrity QM is Mr. Bikram Ghosh. Very, very big name in Kolkata, percussionist, music composer, fusion artist, and actor. Son, of course, of one of the most legendary tabla players, Mr. Shankar Ghosh. So a lot of pedigree over there, and he's a wonderful speaker as well. So it'll be a pleasure to hear from him. All right, the Mumbai Geeks, the home team, have chosen this round to start anti-clockwise, which means the first question is going to go to Ognide Banerjee and the Kolkata Wizards, coming up on your screens now.
A swimming champion in the 70s. Identify this Kolkata-born actress seen here through the lens of Pablo Bartholomew.
All right, a black and white photo of a very, very beautiful person. Quite simply, identify this Kolkata-born actress through the lens of Pablo Bartholomew, swimming champion.
Okay, so I want to use my double here.
He's going for a double.
So is it Nafisa Ali?
Nafisa Ali it is. How can we have a battle of the youth without a double by the Kolkata Wizards, Shamonai?
A regular fixture so far has been the double, a very good use of the double cards from the Kolkata Wizards. There were plenty which they saved up from the auction, and they are using it very generously. That was, of course, Nafisa Ali. And from the confines of your home, you have got it right. So a gentle pat on your back for that. So having said that, we think we can move on to the direct for Bengaluru Aces now. Dhruv, let's take a look at the question. Let's hear it from Mr. Ghosh.
All right. Question 2 on your screens now.
From Oscar 2019, what serves as the common inspiration behind these dresses?
A very colorful array of dresses, lots of pink over there. And the question that pops up, it of course is right now for a 200-point reward from the Oscars in 2019. Who served as the common inspiration behind these dresses?
I'll take a clue. So I'll take a clue.
It's gone for a clue. The real name of the TV character is Oksana Astankova, though she is commonly referred to by a different name. So the inspiration comes from television.
Yeah, the question asks for a TV character. You should try to think hard. For 100 points, let's take a look at his guess.
Okay. I'll guess. I'll guess Beth Harmon.
He doesn't look confident, and he's wrong.
Beth Harmon.
So it passes now for 100 points to Sonal and the intellects.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just mumbling to myself. Is this the character from Fleabag, Eleanor?
Fleabag, she says, passes to, I don't know. Do we have a guess this time?
Achha, I have a guess. Is it Marvelous Mrs. Maisel or that woman?
He's gone for the marvelous Mrs. Maisley. Passes to the Brainiacs.
Pass.
A chance for 100 points. The Geeks.
Is it the character of Queen May from The Boys?
Not Queen May from The Boys. Will there be a double now again?
No, pass.
No, it's a pass. So this passes out. This was Piyush's direct. Let's take a look at the answer. Oksana Astankova is the name of the character. And we, of course, know her better as Villanelle, played by Jodie Comer. Bit beyond my time, but of course, no excuse not to watch it. That's what quizzes are for, partly to help you get points, partly to inspire you. Question 3 now for the intellects.
Identify the mustachioed gentleman in the middle, sandwiched between Satyajit Ray and Girish Karnad.
Okay, so we're looking at a photograph with some very famous faces there. We want to know who the person second from left is, the mustachioed gentleman between Satyajit Ray and Girish Karnad.
I would like a clue.
She wants a clue. So it's for 100 points now. Before venturing into cinema, this Dada Saheb Phalke awardee worked as a government officer around Dindigul.
General geographical clue there. This is from his early days. He's of course very, very old now.
Pass.
Sonal passes for 100 points with the erudites.
No, pass.
Passes to the brainiacs.
Pass.
The brainiacs pass as well. The geeks now for a chance to open the account.
Pass.
But they pass again. It's now with the wizards.
Going by the mustache, is it Adur Gopalakrishnan?
He says Adur Gopalakrishnan and he gets 100 points. Well done, Ognidev and the Wizards. They've gone to a 900-point score. Excellent answering there, of course. It was a bit of a breakfast with champions sort of a photograph. Lots of big names there, and one more name was the answer, Adur Gopalakrishnan. All right, next question coming up on screen now.
Seen here is a still from Assi Nabbe Pure So, a 2013 production which was ultimately shelved. Barring dubbed versions, this could have been the Hindi debut of which actress?
Okay, so a blanked out face from the movie Assi Nabbe Pure So. Who is that on screen?
Is it Janvi Kapoor? Is it Janvi Kapoor?
The editors are quick to answer Janvi Kapoor, not the Hindi debut of Janvi Kapoor. Snehil?
Shraddha Kapoor.
Shraddha Kapoor? Not the right answer. The geeks?
Is this Sara Ali Khan?
Not Sara Ali Khan either. The wizards?
Is it Ananya Pandey?
No magic this time from the wizards. Passes to the aces.
There's Samantha Akinen. I mean, Hindi debut, so she must be in some other language.
And the class of true quizzing comes out once again. What a lovely answer there. Read between the lines, wasn't talking about just any debut, about the Hindi debut. Fantastic answer there, Shaman Naik. I have to applaud it.
Fantastic. Beautifully worked out. Deserving well 100 points there. And we move to, I think, Snehil's direction now for the Delhi Brainiacs. We'll hear from our celebrity.
You know the actress. Just identify the film from which the stills are shown.
Okay. Two very nice photographs over there. And the question quite simply, you know the actress, just identify the film from the stills shown.
2.
He's gone for a clue. For 100 points, part of a franchise, the film is about an 8-year-old child prodigy who defends his home from criminals.
Home Alone.
Home Alone would be the obvious guess, but it's the wrong answer. All right, the geeks now with a chance to score, finally.
Is it Baby's Day Out?
He says Baby's Day Out, much younger than 8. Wrong answer. Wizards.
Let's pass.
Passes.
I'll say Home Alone 2.
Home Alone 2 is the wrong answer. Pass it to the intellects.
Home Alone 3.
And we finally get there. We had Home Alone, we had Home Alone 2, and there was only one guess left, Home Alone 3, and that's the right one. Teams kicking themselves, they were close, but in an answer like this, no part points, no freebies. Okay, Shaman Naik, the geeks are still on 0. There's a chance for them to really score. Let's take a look at their question.
Based on Syed Imtiaz Ali Taj's 1922 Urdu novel, on which film set was this picture taken?
A very interestingly colored and lit photograph. Question for the geeks. Based on Said Imtiaz Ali Taj's 1922 Urdu novel, on which film's set was this picture taken?
I'd like a clue, please.
Gone for 100 points. After 12 years in production, it was released in 1960 and ran to packed cinema halls. Can't miss it, Mumbai.
Is it Mughal Azam?
100 points on the line here. And he bags 100 points. Finally, the geeks are off the mark. He couldn't have missed this with one of the most iconic films ever made in the city. Oh, so finally we've got all the teams off the marks, Shamunai. Let's have a quick look at the scores. You've got 3 teams on 100. That's the Brainiacs, the Geeks, and the Erudites. And on the other side, some huge scores. 550 for the Intellects, 400 for the Aces, and would you look at that? 900 for the Kolkata Wizards, Shamunai. Are we going to see another 1,000-pointer this time? Consecutive weeks?
Right. I hope so. I mean, with one round to go, and especially with the differential scoring back again, I don't see a reason why Kolkata can't score a 1,000-pointer, or maybe the second time consecutively in this particular league.
Right, so this is round 4, the final frontier. Shamunai, let's take our viewers through the rules quickly.
The final frontier, as it is, 6 questions anti-clockwise. The last 6 questions of the quiz, 1 direct for each team. We start anti-clockwise from the Kolkata Wizards this time. Of course, differential passing, which means a plus 100 for your direct question, but if it passes, for the 6th team, there's a chance for 350 points. Okay, Kolkata Wizards, let's take a look at their first connect question. These are all connect questions. People have to think literally and laterally. Dhruv, let's take a look at the first question for Kolkata Wizards.
All right. A reject from the Amritsar audition round of the Great Indian Laughter Challenge. Who changed his surname from Punj? Remember, if this passes to the teams on 100, they have a chance to score really big and threaten the top 3. Ognidev thinking hard. He just needs 100 points.
Right. Is this Kapil Sharma?
Is this Kapil Sharma, he asks?
Because I remember I had seen a video on the Ustaduka Ustad, and I think he was a part of this as well.
Is that 100 points for the Kolkata Wizards? It is. The Wizards, consecutive quizzes. We've seen 1,000-point score. This time it's the Kolkata Wizards. Fantastic answer. That is, of course, the hugely popular comedian Kapil Sharma, one of the biggest names on television. Wow, that's an excellent performance by the Wizards, Shamunai.
Fantastic. And that was Shami Kapoor from Kisko Pyar Karu. That was Ustaduka Ustad. And obviously, that is Punjab Police, where Kapil Sharma's father was posted once. So Piyush Kedia, this is his direct. Let's take a look at the second question for the Bengaluru Aces.
A triumphant first name that connects these 4 images. 4
Simple one-word answer.
4 images completely different from each other.
Okay, I'll say Yash Chopra Films.
He's gone for Yash Chopra Films. That's wrong. Passes to the Intellects. 150 points.
Is this Brian Singer?
Not Brian Singer. 200 points now. It's becoming high stakes. Erudites.
Is it Amitabh Bachchan? Like films like Shan, Diwar, or I guess Koila?
He's got a hint of a guess there.
Films by no.
He's struggling to tie it all together.
I'm audible now.
Bit of a technical issue. Now we can hear him.
No, it's Amitabh Bachchan. That's my answer.
Unfortunately, it passes for 250 points to the Delhi Brainiacs.
Vijay.
As simple as that.
Vijay, Dina, Chauhan, and so like Amitabh Bachchan is the name of the movies of Amitabh Bachchan.
And it's as simple as that. A triumphant first name is Vijay. He didn't quite get the connect right, but Shobhanai, let's have a look at what the connect is.
Yes, of course. For our viewers, we'll take a look at what are the clues to the 4 images. This was, of course, Amitabh Bachchan playing Vijay in Aankhein, Kala Patthar, Sham, and Diwar. Right? Okay, so this is straight out of your time, Dhruv.
That's right. I'm quite happy now just to see because they were struggling and he's got 250 precious points. He's on 350 now. That just puts a little bit of pressure on the aces and the intellects. And that's a direct question for the Ahmedabad intellects. Which namesake of a possibly fictitious blind bard completes this nuclear family from a fictional town? Now, this is going to be one of the more popular questions for the viewers. It's a lovely answer. I think I figured this out already.
Does the family work?
Asking a very deep question. Does the family work? Depression era questions, shall we say. She doesn't look confident.
Milton?
And it's the wrong answer. So 150 points to the erudites. Well, for the erudites.
No, pass.
And the passes 200 points. Brainiacs. Big moment.
Incredibles.
Incredibles, no. 250 points with the geeks now.
Is it the Umbrella Academy?
Not the Umbrella Academy. 300 points with the leaders.
No, pass.
He passes 350 points. Piyush Kedia and the aces.
Homer, Lisa, Margaret, so the Simpsons family.
Homer Simpson. The blind bard, of course, being Homer, the ancient Greek poet. Let's take a look at the correct Shamunai. Beautiful answering.
That was, of course, from left to right, Marge Darsley, Bart Allen, Lisa Hayden, and Maggie Thatcher. Well, all members, their first names, all members of the Simpson family, right? Superb answer from Piyush Kedia. Okay, this goes to the Chennai erudites. Okay, we are halfway through in this round. The 4th question to Chennai erudites.
If they became the first 3 entries in a list in 2000-2001, who was the 4th who switched seats in 2007 for a year? All right. If they can identify the top left photo, they should get a bit of a hint there.
I'm not getting the slide. Yeah.
But the erudites have technical issues galore.
Yeah.
Now we can see. Now he can see.
Yeah, I am on the slide now.
Now you can start thinking. So we need the 4th name in the series. Using 3 of the names, the 4th switched seats in 2007 for a year.
I'll pass.
The erudites pass 150 points with the Brainiacs.
Govinda.
He says Govinda and he's wrong. All right. With the geeks now.
Pass.
200 points missed. 250 points with the Wizards.
No, pass.
Passes to the Aces. 300 points.
Aishwarya Rai.
Aishwarya Rai is wrong. 350 points with Sonal Sharma.
This is Gracie Singh.
Gracie Singh, she says it's wrong. So this one has passed out. This was a bit of a toughie. If you didn't see it, if you want a round, then Shamanai, let's take a look at the answer. This is, of course, Shah Rukh Khan.
Yes, he switched seats. These are the first three in chronological order, the chief guests or the guest performers or the guest contestants in Kaun Banega Crorepati season 1. So that was Amir Khan, Sonali Bendre, and Rani Mukherjee. With two more questions to go, let's take a look at the scores group.
It looks like the Wizards will run away with the victory today. I don't see them being dethroned. You've got 750 points for the Aces, 550 for the Intellects, 100 apiece still for the Geeks and the Erudites. The Brainiacs coming through in the last round and getting some precious points. They're on 350. So you could see a little bit of a switch in the scores. All will be revealed. It's the last two questions to go. And the questions are for the two teams who are sitting right now on 100 points. All right, the question now is for the Delhi Brainiacs. The second last question. Quite simply, connect. You see 4 photographs and a collage of 4 photos within them. Do the Brainiacs have a guess?
These shows were shot on mobile phone.
He says they were shot on mobile phones. Good guess, not quite the right answer. 150 points. Geeks?
Is it a Zoom call?
The Wizards very casually say.
The last frame looks like the frames on a Zoom call, and so does the second one. Weak connect.
The Wizards casually say it's shot on a Zoom call, and they're absolutely right. Shooting on mobile phones is prehistoric now. Get with the times, huh, Shaman Rai?
And exactly how the quiz was done on Zoom, and absolutely correct, quite a meta reference there. These are all shot on Zoom, absolutely right, and the respective entities being host, All Rise, One Part of the Dead Mission Remote, and Wakalat from Home. So web series, TV series, films, all around, going to the new normal. This is, of course, shot on Zoom. And well, we move on to the last and final question of the quiz. Dhruv, let's take a look at the question for Mumbai Geeks, the home team.
As of June 2021, which film completes the list? A chance for the Geeks to get 100 points and get into 5th place. They don't want to be sharing points with the Erudites.
Is it Piku?
Piku, he says, and he misses that for 150 points now with the Wizards.
Are these Bollywood movies starring Kharaj Mukherjee? So if that is the case, then Bahurupia.
Kharaj Mukherjee says, no, not the right answer. With the Aces, 200 points.
I'll say Sherni.
He says Sherni.
Vidya Balan featured in Kahani, Pa, and I'm not sure what I think that's Kahani 2. No.
So
my answer is Sherni.
So his answer is Sherni. And that's all we need. We didn't get the connect exactly right, but Shamanai, tell us what the connect is. It's a little more specific than just Vidya Balan.
Yeah, absolutely. This is Vidya as Vidya. So if you take a look at that was Pa, that was Kahani, and that was Kahani 2. In all of these films, Vidya Balan plays a character which is a namesake of a real name, which is Vidya.
And I believe she is Vidya Vincent in Sherni.
Perfect. 10 points. 100 points to you, if I may say. Okay,
no, actually,
so
400 points, because actually we did more than that. So.
All right, we'll take a look at the final scores now, Dhruv.
Okay, we're done and dusted with the film and TV quiz. The Mumbai Geeks and the Chennai Erudites finished with 100 points apiece today. 350 points for the Delhi Brainiacs, 550 points and some good answering by the Ahmedabad Intellects. Some moments of absolute brilliance from the Bengaluru Aces, but they finished with only 950. Who would have thought we'd say only 950 for a quiz? But that's because there's another new normal we're talking about, and that's scores of 1,000 plus. Winning the quiz today with 1,200 points. Brilliant performance by the Kolkata Wizards. All right. You know what this means? It's time to take a look at how many points they take away in today's quiz. Shravan, let's take a look at the points for today.
Yes, so the Ahmedabad Intellects take 4 points, the Bengaluru Aces take 5 points, I think second. Chennai Elbits on 2 points. It's hard luck for them too because his internet was a bit of a sketchy there. Delhi Brainiacs have 3 points, Kolkata Wizards finishing with 6 points, and Mumbai Geeks on 2 points too. All right, so with that, we will take a look at the final standing of the league as of now. We are halfway through. There's been lots of brilliant answers, superb quizzing, at absolute down to the wire level. Let's take a look at the league table standing, Dhruv.
All right, all 6 teams have played 6 matches, and right now, leading the league are the Bengaluru Aces, still with 29 points. The Kolkata Wizards, on the back of a brilliant performance today, have shot up to 26 points and are breathing down the neck of the Aces. And 22 points for the Intellects, 19 for the Geeks, 18 for the Erudites, and 16 for the Brainiacs. Now, I know there's a lot of points difference between 16 and 29, but we're only halfway through the quiz. This entire thing could go topsy-turvy. Who knows what the 7th quiz will bring? Well, we do know what topic it'll bring. The 7th quiz is going to be on literature and the arts. So it's been a very entertaining and fun-filled week this week. Next week is going to be a little more nuanced, a little more beautiful, and a little more aesthetically perfect, we hope. Let's see an all-new combination of 6 faces. We hope to see the same faces and new faces watching the show next week. From Shravan Banerjee and Dhruv Mukherjee, this is the ProQuizzin League Battle of the Youth signing off. Wishing you all the very best. Stay safe, stay well, and take care.